viewers, I'm glad that you can join me again on another episode of Stories from the Field. My name is EP3, and today we're going to be looking at the needs and challenges at the Ayede mission field. Join me as we interact with our missionary and the people of this community to discover what needs they have and what challenges they are facing as a nascent community of believers. Thank you.
At EMS of Ekwa, we have always been passionate about supporting widows and retired missionaries. Their struggles are urgent and deeply moving, and it's time for us to come together in support.
And sometimes we think only of the missionaries who are serving currently, but more often than not, we tend to forget those women who have between 3 to 7 children who they have to manage with. And EMS is trying hard every year to give them something, every month to help them with some interventions, whether it is food, whether it is clothing, whether it is school fees. But I tell you, at this point, we are very overwhelmed.
This is the reality of many EMS widows and retired missionaries. They are a call to action, which is why the EMS of Ekwa is organizing a supportive conference where widows and retired missionaries can pour out their hearts and find hope.
We want to host them. We want to fellowship. We want to cry. We want to pray. We want to affirm. We want to invigorate. We want to just pat their backs and let them know that they are not forgotten.
Together, let's show our EMS widows and retired missionaries that they are not forgotten. Thank you for your generosity and support. This is more than a conference, it is a lifeline. Be a part of the change. Support EMS widows and retired missionaries today.
Welcome back from the break. Let us go right into these conversations. Hello and welcome to another interesting and informative episode of Stories from the Field. My name is EP3 and we are still in Ayede mission field with Pastor Simon Yahaya, who is the missionary who is taking care of the little flock of believers in this mission field. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Right, sir, let's get right down to it. I would like you to share with our viewers the needs that you have in this community. What are the things that you need in order for your work to be effective, to reach out to these people with the message of the gospel? And then what are the things that are needed in this community that will help to make life a little bit easier for your members and even the entire residents of this community?
Basically on the community at large, you know, we have a need, especially water. We don't have water here. You will trek for almost a lot of kilometers before you reach before you see the water. The water is not even clean. It's not even good. They will suffer. Even when they reach there, they will suffer before they got the water. So, if water resources will be provided here, especially borehole or any kind of water here, in fact, will preach the gospel to the community. They will say, yes, the God of the Christians provides water to them. Because it's the community whereby even the politician don't know the place and cannot even penetrate the place, cannot even promise the place. So if Christians will support on this aspect, we need water. Okay. In the aspect of it, we need water.
So talking about the need for safe drinking water for the use of the members of this community, let's take you to the source of water, the water hole where the entire community gets their water from. We'll be right back. So we are here at what seems to be like a watering hole, in the savannah where animals come to drink water. But surprisingly, this is where the entire community of Ayede get their water from, for drinking and for every other use. This is their only source of water, and surprisingly, they even have to take turns to fetch this water, because the water is actually coming from the ground, and so they have to wait until it gathers to a certain quantity before they can fetch it. So you see, this is the turn of this young lady to fetch the water, and she's filling her containers with water, and while the other women have to wait until this young lady has filled hers before it's their turn to fetch the water. So like I said, look at the surroundings of this stream, and you know, it's just it's not hygienic, and I can see there are algae around the stream, and you know, they also have to step in here with their feet, with everything they have stepped upon, and then they come here to get the water. And one other thing is, when the rains come, um, the rainwater will flood in and also come here into this little pool and pile up here, and then of course they don't have any choice but to fetch from here. This is where the only source of water, and any other source of water will be similar to this. This is where the people of Ayede get their water from. And you see, this is one of the things that we talk about all the time, that EMS is not just about preaching the gospel, getting people to be saved, but bringing transformation to the lives of the people in desperate need of help. Imagine if these people have a well, even if it's just a well in their community. It will save them a great deal of trouble having to come here. We were on this trail. We trekked for like 2 kilometers. Yeah, maybe 2 kilometers or even more, just to get here to fetch water. Imagine if you want to get a bowl of water, you have to come, trek 2 kilometers, and then 2 kilometers back. That's 4 kilometers for just one container of water, and you have to repeat that cycle again if you want to get another container of water. So it's very hectic work for the people. It drains their energy, but they don't have the wherewithal to understand that they need a well. A well will serve them better, and it will give them safer water than the one that they're taking here from this stream. I can't believe that this is the same water I drank over there at the village. But well, God will take care of us, and like He has been doing. But we need to take steps to improve the living conditions of these people. So we're back from the water hole where the people of Ayede get their water from, for every use, for drinking, for washing, and any other domestic use. That's where they get their water from, and that's the stress that they have to undergo before they get water. So, Pastor,
Yes,
we're
sir.
talking about the needs in your community. What other needs what other needs are there in this community?
And actually also charging points. We don't have charging point. Even the nearest community within us, they don't even have the charging point. So if a solar system would be provided to the pastor house, at least almost many people, all the community will come and be charging there. It's also a gospel. When you come to charge your phone, I will preach the gospel to you. Say, this pastor is a very kind, he's all this, he's supportive, he's kind. That brings people to Christ.
Well, it's a very, very important strategy, because you know, they are able to access network here, some particular networks. Which one particularly? Is it? Do you have MTN? Do you have Glo? Do you have Airtel?
Yes, actually we have Glow, we have MTN, but we don't have Airtel here.
Okay, so they use phones. They use phones to communicate with their family members, maybe else who are living elsewhere. And what Pastor is saying essentially is that if they will have a place where they don't have electricity, so in order for them to charge their phones, they will have to walk or travel long distances, more than 10 kilometers, to where they can be able to charge. They don't have devices for charging. So if maybe a solar system will be provided that will generate power for them to be able to come in and plug their phones in the pastor's residence, it will be a means, a conduit of preaching the gospel. It's a very important strategy, and if something can be done about this, it will go a long way in opening the door for pastor to be able to reach out to the people in this community and even people in other surrounding communities. Because if you look far and wide, it's just entirely, it's just a jungle. There are no any facilities here. So Pastor, let's go on and tell us more about these needs, if there are any.
Actually, we have need in school. Let me start with the school. We need building. We need classes for students, because if rain come, we cannot teach. They will just be in standing position until the rain stop. Then we continue. So if we have classes, at least that will be also help. And we'll also have chairs. That will also help. If we can also learning materials, some books, like also blackboard. As you can see, our blackboard is not even it's just a blackboard. If you see it,
Just a piece of plywood.
a piece of plywood. In fact, we suffered before we even got this.
Yeah.
So if a blackboard we can have blackboard, at least the school will help.
So in the previous episode, we highlighted some of the needs in the school. Like the school, they are just it's just an enclosure thatched with grasses and palm fronts. That is the structure where the children are learning. They have to sit down on makeshift structures, wood, just like this, and in some cases they don't even have seats. So it's very important if they will have like buildings, a standard classroom, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 classrooms, because all the children, of all ages, even the toddlers, the 4 to 5 year olds, and even those who are approaching teenage, they are all in the same classroom learning the same thing. So if they can be separated, the toddlers will have their class, those after them will have their class, and then maybe those approaching teenage will have their class, so they can learn differently. And in such way, the learning environment will be organized, and the students will be able to make the most of what they are learning. So that is one need. They need learning materials. Like they don't have a blackboard. We're talking about an entire school having just one. It's not even, we can't call that a standard blackboard. It's just a plywood that they write on. So if this school will get things like a whiteboard marker with some markers that will be used for their lessons, for teaching, if they can get books and other teaching aids, it will go a long way to consolidate the effort that the missionary is making in this school. So Pastor, let's talk about the church here. I've not seen anything like a church building. Where do you worship? Where do you hold services and fellowship?
It's actually the same place that we used to attend our classes. Our class
Okay.
is the same place we used to worship.
Oh.
So even when rain come, even a Sunday service, we cannot do it because of the nature of the place.
Wow.
And if we will have a standard built church, then in fact, one of the greatest surprise, let me tell you, my audience, let me tell you, there are unbelievers, that are also, that we have Muslims around us. They told me, they say, Pastor, I say, yes, if you build a church, we will come to the church. So
That's what the Muslims around the community are
they
telling
are
you?
saying, yes, if we will have structure of the church, then at least they will come.
Wow.
Because there are people that, when you ask them why are they saying this, they will say, since from the beginning they are not used into church. Now now how will people around them see them going to the church, as big as they are? So if they can enter church, they will enter the building church, then they will hide themselves there. This is what it's saying.
So it's very remarkable to hear even those who are unbelievers talking about the need for a building, a structure for worship. So if this structure is built, for instance, even unbelievers who come to church, and by that they are skeptical, they are afraid. But if they come to church, I think that it will serve as an avenue for the pastor to nurture them, so that their faith in God will be consolidated and they can stand firm in the faith. So it's a very important need that pastor over here has highlighted. They need a church building. Right now, the raffia palm structure, makeshift structure, is the place where they worship. And he just told you that he told us that when rain is falling, they cannot continue with their church service or any fellowship or Bible study or anything they're having. They cannot continue. So this is a very, very important, very crucial need in this community. They need this structure for the gospel to be consolidated in this community. So, viewers, it is on this note that we are going to end this interesting episode of Stories from the Field. On behalf of my crew, Mr. David, who is behind the camera, and Mr. Ibrahim Yakubu, who has been driving us around through this difficult and challenging terrain, I'm saying goodbye, have a nice time. And do not forget to support this important work that we're doing as the EMS media. Support us in any way that you can, so that we can go further into other mission fields. There are thousands of mission fields that we have not visited, that we need to visit, that we need to bring to light what is happening in those mission stations, so that you can see where you need to step in and be part of what God is doing. You can send your donations for the media project to the account number that is displayed on your screen. You can also reach out and support any project in this mission field through the account number and the phone number that is displayed on the screen. From me, Fatura Habila, I'm saying goodbye. See you on another episode.